So this is the new DS number 7, and it replaces the DS7, which is a very successful car for DS Automobile, and it has a big shoe to fill. This promises a smooth ride, premium refinement, and luxurious quality, as well as a long range, which adds to that practicality that this brings. In terms of what's different, it's still the same height, it's still the same sort of width, and this is slightly longer. They've even extended the back window and given us a larger sunroof just to give this a sense of space when you get inside of the car. But let's talk about what's actually on offer in here. We have plenty of technology, and this is available in different trim levels. We've got the Aura, the Palace, and also the Etoile, which we have here. There's also a first edition, which we won't talk about in this video, and there's also a new silky green color, which looks absolutely fantastic. It's probably my favorite color here. We have variety of powertrain options available as well. We have the hybrid, we have a 230, we have a 245 and 350. The last three are electric, fully electric. We have 2 front-wheel drives and 1 all-wheel drive. The middle one is a long range. I know that's a lot to take in, so all annotations will be on the screen for you guys to have a look at as we go along with the rest of the video. So let's start with the front of the car, because this is designed to give us a really good drag coefficient. We're talking 0.26. If you look at the front lights, it's very DS. So we get loads of light in here, the illuminated lighting area, the DS logo is illuminated as well. We get this piano black color that we get as well in terms of the contrast color. So whichever one you go for, you will always have that. Looking at the front LED headlights as well, you can see the sharp shape and corners here. And this is designed to give it that drag coefficient. So make it very efficient, helps it cut through the air. So this should be very, very efficient on the road. Again, the promised long range. So we're talking around 750 kilometers on the WLTP. Of course, that's a lab test, so in the real world, this is going to be slightly different. Moving over to the side of the car, by the way, there's no frunk in this available, unfortunately, but that's not a problem because the boot space is slightly big, but we'll talk about that when we get to the back. Moving on over to the side profile, like I was saying, we can spec this up to 21-inch alloys, which looks absolutely good. Looks great with the rest of the car in terms of proportions. And then we see this side profile, really nice and fluid, just really nice in terms of adding to the drag coefficient. So these are recessed door handles. You press that, it pops out, and then once you lock the door, it goes back in like so. And then we look here, it's just nicely fluid on the side. There's no drastic creases or anything like that. They've got a couple of lines that sort of leads to the back just to keep it nice and proportionate. And then it kind of gives us this shooting brake back area. We get this piano black color finish in here. And then one of the good things I like about this is the fact that they've also hidden the back door handle here. So when you open it, it opens that way, and then you can get in the car. In terms of charging, the charging port is here, and we have 160 kilowatt DC fast charge. It's not the fastest on the market, but it's still pretty decent for a quick short break on the motorway, and then off you go again. This is actually placed between, I think, the Q4 e-tron and the Q6 in terms of the size and positioning of this compact SUV. And then over on the back, the design continues in terms of the lighting, the way that it's been designed. This actually, they said, adds 10 kilometers just by having this design that's really straight and just angular and just the shape. I love this diamond-esque sort of finishing in the lights as well. It looks pretty cool. One thing I forgot to mention on the front is you get adaptive matrix LED lights as well. It's got its own DS name, which I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but they look really good. It also dims as well when it needs to dim, so that way it's safe for other road users and you're not going to blind them. And then move over here, we've got this big DS Automobiles writing number 7 there. And if there's anything I would change here, it's just this big writing here. I'd rather just have a nice, simple, minimalist number 7 just written on the back. For some reason in my head, it makes it look like a prototype vehicle when you see the way that this is written, and also the brush sort of aluminium finishing on it as well. Get the window wiper there. There's also a camera here. That's because at the front for the head mirror, we have digital head mirror as well, so you can, it kind of adds to the tech element of the car. Let's pop open the boot, because this is big boot space in here as well. We have electronically controlled tailgate, and also this is 560 liters of boot space. Of course, you can fold the seats down, which adds extra space, I think upwards of 1,500 or something. I think it's like 4,575 liters or so. And then underneath here, we get storage space to store your charging cable, which is good. It means you don't have to compromise on the boot space because of the charging cable. In terms of aperture, it's nice and big as well. You've got a bit of lip here in terms of loading things in the car, but it's not too much that it's going to cause any problem. Nice and practical, which is really good. And it's also quite premium in here. I love the finishing in the boot space here. You've got the piano black diffuser area, the tailgate lights there as well. Just looks really good. The back and the front looks very, very in proportion, and the design looks very good. They've thought about it in terms of what that's going to look like. So Let's talk about the inside. Talking about the back seat first, is very, very plush here. It's very comfortable as well. I love the feeling of sitting here. I love the materials and that leather that's been used. It's really good. You get 3D focal sound system in here. Again, sounds absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best. I use focal other devices at home, so I'm very familiar with that. Here we get climate control here. There's two USB-C ports here to charge your device for the passengers at the back. And in terms of the sitting position, there's plenty of space for the feet to tuck in underneath the seat in front of me. Plenty of knee room as well. Head height, edge room is plenty. We get this, like I was saying, a larger sunroof that goes all the way to the back, but it's wider to give a sense of space here. So they haven't compromised on spacing at all. In fact, they've elongated the car to give us a bit more space here in the back seat without making the car look too big. It's still quite compact when you look at it. It's just sitting nicely with a silhouette. It looks really good. The sitting position here in terms of the knee height is slightly raised, which is a bit unfortunate because I kind of like to have it a bit lower, but it's not the end of the world. It's still going to feel very comfortable for long rides. And also, there's no tunnel here at all, transmission tunnel. So if you were to sit someone in the middle, everything is going to be comfortable for them. You don't have to fight over anything. And if they're too tall as well, there's no problem because we have a digital head mirror, which means they won't be blocking the visual for the driver at all. There's a armrests available as well, and it's got two storage system there, so for your cup holders or bottle, and there's also an area to store maybe like an iPad or something. That's a notebook, I know, but you can store that there, and it's quite forward, so your elbow doesn't sink into that bottle holder as well. So that's something they've thought about. So all in all, in the backseat area, I think they've done a really good job at making it feel premium and comfortable. Over in the front cabin, it's very premium again. It's comfortable, it feels nice, the seat holds you in place, and I love this single unibody design that they've got here as well. There's neck warmer available, so some of the experience that you get here depends on which pack you go for. So for example, this one I'm sat in right now doesn't have the head-up display, but you can get the technology pack, which allows you to have that in the car. You do get that focal sound system. I don't think it's actually in this one in terms of the 3D version, but you can also spec it to get that in the car, which offers that excellent sound system. In general, I think it's very, very comfortable in terms of the visibility around the car, which is good. I like the steering wheel, the Napa leather finishing. You also got a paddle shift here for your energy regeneration. So there's one pedal driving option here as well. There's a little sensor here that also monitors the driver's alertness. And there's also a camera that offers comfortability, so it reads the road before it gets there in milliseconds, so that way you get a nice, comfortable, smooth ride in the car when you're driving. Elsewhere, you get a digital instrument cluster in front of you that's nice and bright. Visibility is no issue there. And then you got your infotainment system that supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, both wirelessly. You got wireless charging area as well, which I think is also ventilated. But one thing I kind of like is this suspended area here. I think it's kind of cool, where you have your drive mode button, which is also finished in this nice sort of like glass sort of effect here, which is kind of cool. And I like the material that's used is just very nice. It makes it feel very premium and luxurious here. I love this suede sort of finishing, or Alcantara leather, whatever it is. Don't quote me. It feels really nice and soft and adds to the premium level as well. Ambient lighting is there as well, so that's also a good thing. There's space here to store things, and USB-C ports are there. Although this might block your bottle in terms of which size you do put in there eventually. There's more space in there to store things if you want to do that as well. And there's another little gap here to maybe put a bottle if you need to do that very quickly, or just store your keys or whatever you want to do. That will be there for you as well. Depending on how you spec this in terms of the seats, there's also option to have a watch strap confection. That's also designed, it's a very DS thing. So if you've seen the DS number 8, for example, you would have seen that before. That's something you can spec on it. But I think overall, they've done a really good job at keeping their promise in terms of the range. Well, I said they kept their promise there, but we don't know the real world range just yet. But when it comes to luxury or the premium feel, the refinement, I think that's a tick there for me. In terms of the ride height, the visibility, the comfortability, and the practicality of the car, I think they've ticked that as well. And then again, when we do get to drive this, we get to test how comfortable it actually is on the road with those technology that they've added here. You know, things like lane departure warning, this semi-autonomous driving, all this excellent technology that I expect in cars in this day and age. We get to test that eventually. But overall, really good. And let me know what you think in the comments below. Would you be getting one of these? Would you like to see more of this on the UK roads? Let us know in the comments. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe.